Yo, what's up? You'll never be motivated unless you do this one thing. You'll never be motivated unless you do this one thing. So if you are here, then give me a hashtag here. If you are watching this on replay, then give me a hashtag replay. So my name is Coach Indy, and I am a certified fitness trainer, certified nutritionist, and I specialize in intuitive eating, where I teach medical career moms that have a background of nursing or just medical career in general, like myself, to be able to lose weight without counting carbs and being able to lose weight doing workouts at home. So if you struggle with motivation, then this is gonna be the live for you. This topic came up in my inbox today, so that's why I wanted to talk about it. So make sure you give me a hashtag here or a hashtag replay. Okay. All right. So you will not be motivated unless this one thing. So you will not be motivated unless you do this one thing. So this is like one of the biggest things that I actually like come across is like motivation. How do I get motivation? How do I keep motivation? And so I got this topic in my inbox today, and hey, Crown Locks. And so I wanted to talk about it. So you will not be motivated unless you do this one thing. And I think a lot of people think that if you are like a personal trainer, that automatically means that you're motivated. And I want to, oh, it would be helpful if I had my mic in front of me. So I hope that you guys could hear me this whole time. But motivation is not just something that personal trainers have, and we're just like these magical unicorns and we're the only ones that have it. Absolutely not. It's not like something that we have the secret on and you guys don't. That's not what the case is. So basically, there are days that even personal trainers don't want to go and work out. So if that's the case, if there's days that even personal trainers aren't motivated to work out, then what hope is there for the rest of humanity? Well, sorry about my dog. So I will tell you guys that Dolly, no. I will tell you guys that it's actually sorry, I lost my train of thought because of my dog. But I would tell you guys that it's actually not motivation that keeps personal trainers going. It's actually having a higher purpose, a routine, and discipline. So, what I mean by routine is that you need to get like super, super specific and when you're going to work out, where you're going to work out, what you're going to work out. And essentially, if you have a routine of I'm going to do X, Y, and Z at X, Y, and Z place on X, Y, and Z date at X, Y, and Z time, it is proven that the more specific you are with your goals, then the higher chances you have of actually reaching your goals. Does that make sense? Drop a heart if what I just said just makes sense of being super hyper specific about your goals of when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, where you're going to do it, etc. And if you plan to implement this, then drop me a heart as well. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to write down when you're going to work out, where you're going to work out, and what time you're going to work out. Because unless you know those three things, then you're never going to do it. Let that sink in. Unless you have a plan to work, then you're planning to fail. So I want you to implement that right now and do it tomorrow. Okay. And then the next thing, besides routine, is discipline. Because I want you to think of like motivation is like happiness. Like, oh my God, I'm so happy. Like things are going so well. Like I'm going to crush my goals. But then what happens when life hits? You're depressed. Like depression happens to the majority of us nowadays, I feel like. It's something that's talked about more. And like, what if so and so dies or so and so is sick? Or, just something in general happens that you feel like knocks you off, or like it's a gut punch. That feeling that I've been punched in the stomach before. It doesn't feel good. It like knocks the wind out of you, essentially. What if that happens in a illustrative sense in your fitness journey? What are you going to do? So that's where discipline comes in, where you kind of understand that your fitness journey doesn't care, what's going around you. Like one of the times where I was like the most disciplined in my journey was when I was like losing one of the most important people to me. She was my mother figure. She was my grandmother, and literally is the closest person that I've ever been close to, aside from my ex-spouse. So when you're going through something that deep and that personal to you, you want to like be able to dig deep inside you and be like, you know what, this is actually going to help me feel better, in the sense that I'm going to be able to like clear my mind. I'm going to be able to get those really good endorphins to my mind, that dopamine rush that exercise provides. I'm going to be doing something really healthy for myself. And because my grandmother also dealt with hypertension or blood pressure problems, that's the nurse coming out of me, diabetes, and stroke and heart attack, I'm going to actually be doing something that she would be proud of, because I'm trying to prevent the very thing that she's sickly of. Does that make sense? Like, you want to be able to dig deep into the fact that you're doing something to help yourself in the long run. And that's where kind of like the discipline comes in, where you're not feeling so great, maybe in your headspace, but you kind of use that discipline to remind yourself why you're doing this and what the outcome is going to be afterwards. And then another thing too is like digging into your deeper purpose. Like so many moms kind of like make the excuse of like, okay, my kids. Okay, what about your kids? Having kids is not a disease. Or even being pregnant is not a disease, right? Like you can work out while you're pregnant, can't you? You can work out while you're a mom, can't you? But a lot of what I run into a lot is there's this guilt of like, oh, but that 30 minutes, that hour, I'm not going to be tending to my kids. But number one, you're doing it for your kids. So they're not the excuse, they're actually the reason, because you want to be around for your kids. You want to have energy to be with your kids. But number two is that you have to have a life outside of your kids. You were a being, you were a person before you had kids, right? Am I right or wrong? Drop a heart. Let me know if I'm making sense. Drop a heart if I'm making sense. Is that you were somebody that had a life before you had kids. And oftentimes, like, I will see pictures of women and they're like, this is what I look like before kids and I want to get back to that. Okay, how do you expect to get back to that if you continue to fall victim to this guilt of being a mom? Tell me. You have to let go of that guilt and know that you're doing it for your kids and that you are a person outside of your children and that you want to stick around for your children. So dig deep into your purpose of that. Um, you want more energy to play with them. You want to get rid of pain. You want to get rid of fatigue. You want to get rid of um, any bad side effects that are happening to you as a result of having poor fitness or nutrition, whether that's anxiety, depression, um, high blood sugar, high blood pressure, whatever that looks like for you. Being in pain due to being overweight, not being able to go up a flight of stairs without getting winded. Mommy, play with me. I'm too tired. So, just some like food for thought, essentially, that I want you guys to think about. So, number one that we talked about is routine. So, I hope that if you are tuning in, that you wrote down what you're going to work out, what body parts, um, where you're going to work out, what day you're going to work out, and what time. Get super hyper specific, or else it's not going to ever get done. You'll never work out if you don't know those things. Never. And then next is discipline for even those hard days emotionally when life comes and gives you a gut punch, that you still show up and know that there's still going to be benefits at the end of the tunnel. And three is digging into that deeper purpose, especially like if you're a mom, not having that mom guilt that for 30 to 60 minutes you won't be tending to them. You're doing it for your kids. They're not the excuse. They're actually the reason why you want to do this. And you are a person outside of being a mom as well. And not only that is, I'm a lot of the moms I talk to, they want that snap back, They want that back. So the way that you're going to get that back is getting in the gym and working on your nutrition. So I hope this helps. If this helped, then drop me a heart down below. And let's see, there was one other thing I wanted to tell you guys. If you struggle with motivation, then give me a hashtag motivation down below. And I'd love to have a deeper conversation about how you can get around that. So, because there's some other things that I did not talk about that I could give you tips on. So if you struggle with motivation, then give me a hashtag motivation and I can get you more tips. Okay. I'd love to help and I hope this helped. And since I can't remember what else I was going to say, and I hope that you guys have an amazing motivational Monday. And I will see you guys next time. I go live Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. And remember that it's faith, consistency, and hard work that's going to get you to your goals. Sorry about my dog barking. And have a good night. This is Coach Indy signing off. Bye.